But Ray was just like, why don't we get it? What about a snow machine? And I was like, oh my God, Amazon right away. We had it delivered to us, like
For our hometown
show. And this was like before the Frozen whole tour with Sing with Sugabog.
Use EMG pickups because they help you get the heaviest tone possible. Head over to emgpickups.com and use my promo code HEAVY at checkout and get 15% off. And then once you write the heaviest song of all time, head over to distrokid.com/VIP/Garza and save 30% off your membership to get all your songs on all streaming platforms. And now to the heaviest podcast of all time. But once again, you, the people outspoken, we have Frozen Soul here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
I appreciate you being here, even though you all are very hungover.
Yeah. I had too many Monicos last night.
What are those?
It's a canned cocktail, so it's got real liquor in it instead of like a malt beverage, like a Truly or White Claw. Okay. It's actual liquor, so all of them have like rum, tequila, vodka. They kind of loosely sponsor us and send us tons of it when we're on tour. There they are, right there.
Yeah, that's
there
it.
They are.
I never seen
the watermelons.
There's
my
the
favorite.
nectar of the gods.
They're starting to expand into all of the U.S. Right now, they just got the official UFC endorsement.
Damn, that's
yeah,
huge.
they're official sponsor of the UFC now, and kind of Frozen Soul.
Yeah, those motherfuckers are delicious.
Yeah, they'll get you fucked up, like real quick.
They look like seltzers.
They're not.
They're not.
Yeah, they're not.
They
though.
drink like a seltzer, but it's hard liquor. Yeah, if you have like two of them on an empty stomach, you'll be like hungover the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt and Sam, I'm sorry, we need to share the mic. Can we do a quick intro?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Michael. Hi, I'm Michael. I play guitar for Frozen Soul.
I'm Chris. I play the other guitar for Frozen Soul.
Chad, I just fucking yell at people.
That's awesome.
I'm Sam. I play bass in Frozen Soul.
I'm Matt. I play drums in Frozen Soul.
Sick. Chad, it is kind of true. You do scream at people.
Oh, yeah.
I never really thought of a singer in that way.
Yeah, it's that's literally what I do. And like also I just like feel like, you know, awkward sometimes, so I have to keep yelling at them over and over again and just keep telling them to like
Circle
do
pit.
all sorts of stuff, and I just can't stop. I'm literally the yell guy. That's my position in the band, the yell guy.
That is kind of your job to like. It's funny because singers have a very important job that I don't think us guitar players will, or drummers, bass, whenever understand. It's your job to really focus like the energy of like literally a room.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
Yeah, it's like weird because I like started as a drummer, so like changing and warping my perspective to like be like a singer was weird. And getting up on the stage, normally I'm like so focused on rhythm, you know, but like being the singer, all of a sudden I'm seeing all these people's like faces and I'm gauging the energy of the room like I never could before. So it's like, if I see them looking at me too long and they're not banging their head, I'm like, do a fucking push-up, bang your head, like something, you know, because I just like have to, you know. It's just crazy. It's nuts seeing that, you know, from a different perspective now as a singer. This is the first band I've ever done it for. So,
You know what? I never even asked a singer before. Like, I mean, where do singers even learn, like to like gauge that kind of energy?
Pain. Just I don't know, like, you know, like just like, you know, you see like if you see him having fun, you know, I mean, it's the same thing. It's really the same thing for the whole band. I think you see him having fun, you know, you amp up even more, you know, and
you vibe off the energy, you know, keep it going and like.
Yeah.
I mean, Chad is a mosher like at heart, so I mean, he knows like what he wants people to do and how to get them to do it.
Yeah, it's his first band ever doing vocals in, too.
Yeah.
But, you know, he comes from the hardcore scene, so he knows how
Yeah.
energy's supposed to be. And we all, I don't know, some of our favorite bands are all, like, big entertainer bands, so we all kind of have that energy about us. We want to fucking put on a show, not just rock out, you know what I mean? But, like, get up there and get people
Really work the
going.
crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about Rammstein.
Yeah, exactly.
dude.
Stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. Rammstein, Kiss, we fucking love Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's not, you know,
Yeah.
just a lot of bands like that. Like, you know, hardcore bands like Terror are very inspirational to see every night too, you know.
Yeah, I mean you guys are on tour right now with Terror and the Black Dollar Murder. You know,
Yeah.
it's sick.
fucking Ryan Knight and Brandon Ellis on guitar together.
Oh my
Holy
God.
fuck.
That's crazy. Unmatched fucking combo.
Literally.
Yeah, I just want to like throw my guitar in the trash like every night after watching them. They're so badass.
So good. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, they're like rippers.
Oh, dude, totally. And they're doing all the twin leads and solos and shit together. And
it's so sick.
Smooth as butter, too.
Dude, nobody...
They hit it all so easily.
Yeah, nobody's on their level right now, for sure.
It's like, should I go and practice right now?
Yeah. Yes, you should.
Yeah. Just watching them practice backstage will make you want to practice.
Yeah,
Like,
it's more like, can I take a time machine back to when I was like a teenager and start practicing again? So now I could maybe be as good as them? Like, it ain't happening now.
Can we get their secrets? How long are they practicing pre-show?
They usually do, when they can, they do like a few songs or maybe there's a whole set like backstage.
I think they don't like, I don't think they run it like the whole Metallica thing where they're playing the set like multiple times before they go on, but they're all back there together jamming. Like,
yeah, they have these like little mini like Black Star pocket amps and Alan, the drummer, he just sets his like kick pedals up against the wall and just like air drums.
Well, he also has a V kit too.
He has a rolling V kit. He brings
majority
in
of the
sometimes
time.
backstage and fucking plays on that too. Which is sick. I would fucking love to do that for us.
Yeah,
too.
that's awesome. I mean, and you know, like becoming friends with like Matt Heafy from Trivium, like they do something similar where they like practice religiously before the set. It was cool to meet up with Dahlia and see that they do that. You know, that they jam like that beforehand. It's like, man, we gotta step this shit up.
Yeah. So I guess next question is, are you gonna start the warm up pre? Some bands don't need it. Some do, some don't.
I mean, me personally, sometimes I don't really warm up too much on guitar before we play. But I would, if we had the chance to actually get a full fucking jam in together, I would do that every night.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If we had like an E-kit and stuff like that, like
and like room to set everything up,
it'd be fun and just like be able to like work the kinks out and then like
get
you
the
hit,
blood
you hit
flowing.
the fucking stage, go
boom, ready to go. Yeah.
Having a headliner spot would probably afford us the time to be able to really like do all that well. So probably on the headliner, we'll probably experiment with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gotta get E-kit.
Yeah,
absolutely. I've been thinking
Pressure's
about
on.
it. That's probably going to be one of the first things I get when I go back home. Actually,
I started warming up like an hour before. Even like we're not known as like be like rippers, but like we are similar. We're a rhythm based dominant band, and like it helps.
Yeah, get your fucking.
It helps. Oh shit! I feel like I'm a $5 murder right now. I feel like I'm ripping, dude.
Yeah.
Usually, my warm up consists of drinking. Like having a few Monacos or having something just to loosen up and be ready to go.
You know what drinking and smoking weed really does, especially if you're like any kind of player or artist, it kind of puts you right where you are. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
It's okay. Like all your time at home or home being alone, jamming or practicing or doing whatever, it comes out at that moment. Hey, this is where we're at. So if you had a couple beers, like you go to where that's kind of my theory about Dimebag, where it's like I think he practiced so much, even when he drank, it was just like, well,
he just responded naturally to
like,
it.
well, that's your fucking.
I mean, maybe maybe this is the alcoholic in me talking, but like, I feel like, alcohol is a blood flow inhibitor. So it allows your muscles to loosen up and stuff like that. That's why some people, when they have a few drinks, it's easier for them to riff. Not everybody. Some people, they have a few drinks, they're like, whoa.
Sure.
But like someone like Dimebag, man, I think it, just loosened them up just enough to fucking shred it,
That's crazy. I mean, but as far as drummers, it's kind of, is that...
Yeah, you don't drink.
I don't drink much, before a show. Like, if anything, I might have, like, a beer early in the day or something, if anything. But, like, before a show, I don't drink or anything like that. Because it makes, I don't know, it makes it feel like the drumsticks are just, like, huge weights on me. And, I don't know, it adds a whole lot more pressure to playing. So, I don't. It's good to have all my mechanics intact before I play. But after the show, I like to have, a drink or so.
Yeah, for sure.
You are responsible, and you should be proud of yourself.
Hey, thank you.
That's great, man. You guys are, your band, Frozen Soul, you are a part of this revival wave of death metal. And it seems to be coming out of, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of coming out of, like, Ohio, Texas, really. What's been going on in Texas to make this sound?
Man, see, I always tell people, I'm like, it's crazy because Texas is like this gigantic place where people like most of the time don't get out of.
Yeah, you're born there and you die there.
Yeah. So we really like, we have a ton of like friends that we've grown up going to shows with, and it's all just like everybody's trying to like do cool stuff and have fun, but not rip each other off and just like, you know, and I think it all just pushes us to just like do stuff, and it turned out cool, I guess. I don't really know.
Texas has always had a great scene for punk, metal, hardcore, like everything. There's a lot of rich history.
Yeah,
in
it's been
Texas.
very consistent for like throughout all the decades and stuff.
Yeah.
And all the bands showed genuine appreciation for each other too.
And everybody's still there. You know, like I've been in the scene like 20 years, and a lot of the same people are still there and still doing other bands and still helping shit. You know, we've had DIY spaces that have lasted like 14, 15 years, you know, which is uncommon outside of the area and stuff. So, yeah, it's a really strong scene just in general for music.
Yeah.
So you guys see like the environment and just kind of just keeps going.
Yeah,
keeps
for
going.
sure.
Yeah. It's a ton of amazing bands, like, and like, plus, like, we had like a really cool festival called Chaos and Tejas.
Well, we used to.
Well, that's the same. We had one.
Yeah.
And it that was like a spawning ground for like kids and just everyone to be like, this is what I want to do, you know, because you had all sorts of bands that played it. I mean, you'd have, you know, punk bands, and then you'd have bands like Tragedy and Bolt Thrower, and then just straight up death metal bands.
Yeah.
Like it was like a melting pot, and so like a lot of people just you know, a lot of people followed that. I mean, that's one of the things that made me want to, you know, experiment with like other styles of music and stuff like that. So I think that melting pot really helps a lot of people in Texas grow and get going.
Yeah, the promoter for that did a really great job. He ran it for almost 10 years, but he would fly in like legendary bands from like, you know, Finland and Sweden, Japan, like, all over the world. Like
he put on rappers too.
Yeah,
like,
rap.
Like
it was
Currency was on.
It was
at
a
one
sick
time.
fucking fest, dude, and like that's where we grew up going to that fest.
That's
like,
what made
every
me
year.
love hardcore metal.
It's like I met a bunch of people from Japan, became tight with them, toured over there a bunch with my other bands,
Really?
all just because of like that shit. Yeah.
What was the festival called again?
Chaos in Tejas.
Chaos and Tejas.
Yeah, it's
Best in the West.
The last year Bolt Thrower headlined, and that was 2013.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah. And I think after that, Timmy was probably just like,
Yeah, I mean,
we
look
can't
at
top
those
this.
lineups, dude. They're fucking.
Oh, these are massive lineups.
Oh,
yeah.
And it was like spread apart like all of Austin too. So like all the coolest venues that like, you know, some of them like for instance the Mohawk we played the other day. It's like nuts, and you had like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, you had a little bit of everything, and it was awesome. And I just really haven't ever seen it.
Yeah, Meebix. That was the first time a Meebix had played in I don't know how many years.
Oh, that was
Cool
09,
Mags.
I think. 08 or 09.
I hate
I think
God.
Gorilla Biscuits did their first reunion at Chaos and Tejas. Like, there's like a lot of these bands never fucking played, but Timmy was a dude that could get them to fly over and play.
Yeah, it's like a lot of times like this is like when I was like getting further into like hardcore and metal and everything.
Yeah,
I'd say
Nosm.
like I straight up didn't even need to leave Texas. This is what you look forward to.
Yeah.
You didn't have to leave Texas. You didn't have to go anywhere. And I think that's partially why there's so many sick bands, because like Texas has just fucking got it all.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
where
we
we
had it
live
all.
in-
We had it all
Yeah.
at our disposal to learn from.
And
you know,
in
and soak
Dallas
in.
is like Dallas is the stopping ground to go to Austin or to go anywhere else in Texas. So we get all the fucking shows. Like everybody
yeah.
coming from everywhere always play Dallas. You know?
Yeah.
So this festival was in Austin.
Yes.
And then so how far is Austin from where you're all from?
Like 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
So
Not far.
so you make the drive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to
Easy
get anywhere
weekend.
in Texas, you know, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to drive all the way across Texas, I think it's like 19 hours or something
Almost,
crazy. If
yeah.
you
Yeah.
go
It's a
from
big
the top
fucking
to the very
state.
bottom, so it's like 3 hours to us is like nothing.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go down there and play a show and drive back that night.
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
Or just go see a show. And drive
yeah,
back
go
all the
see it
time,
and
you
just
know?
drive
yeah.
back. Yeah.
So basically, you have to find a friend that has driving, that's young, that got their license, and
Yeah.
also they better be the DD.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well,
I mean that alone is a fucking task.
there's stuff that helps with that too.
Dude, that's a crazy. How many bands is that?
Yeah, it's
a lot
crazy.
every year.
Yeah, all the clubs are just like booked out. All the streets just.
I mean,
booked out.
it's insane, and Austin's got like a legendary like.
That's my
downtown.
friend's dog. His name's Curry. That's Suichi from Ford's dog. Yeah, he plays in Ford.
No dogs, no hamsters.
Curry was mean as fuck. Like that dog would attack your ass if you came in his house and stuff. He was really fucking possessive.
Yeah, so it sounds like the Dallas and Fort Worth scene were really popping.
Yeah, always.
And also, I mean, as far as like heavy shit,
Yeah.
you know. And what other bands would you? I mean, you're actually inside, so I know it's kind of hard to see, but like you're actually in that wave. So I mean, what other bands or I guess the better question is, what band really kicked it off? Like I keep hearing about Frozen Soul, Blood Incantation, and then you go into like the Bog and 200 Stab Wounds. Like, what was the band that really kicked off this? Like,
I mean, honestly, I think it was two.
Yeah.
I think it was Blood Incantation and Necrot. For
Necro,
me,
okay,
those
keep
two
on-
bands were the bands that like made. I thought everybody, from my perspective,
They put this new wave on the map.
yeah,
for
like
sure.
they were in Skeletal Remains. That's another one.
Yeah.
Skeletal Remains is another one. Those three bands, as far as the new wave goes, I think those are the bands that really like helped
Gate Creeper
kick it off.
too, though.
Yeah,
But-
Gate
Gate
Creeper
too, for
as
sure.
well. Yeah,
But they're all like kind of like precursors to what you're talking about right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all
and
these-
they're a little adjacent to what we do with like 200 Stab Wounds and everybody else.
Yeah, all
Sure.
these
But I
bands
love
we're
Necrot.
all these bands we're talking about. They started in like the kind of like early to mid 2010s, and then they started like really gaining steam in like the 2016 ish.
and they were really about the like old school. That's the thing. They looked the part. They had the pointy guitars. They had like the
Support.
production. You know, and it really made you feel like you were listening to something from like the late '80s, like to the
But
mid
fresh.
'90s.
Yeah.
Swedish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweden and England and stuff like that. They had
Yeah.
a lot
But
of
Gate
those
Creeper
influences.
definitely had
And-
the Swedish influence.
yeah,
Dismember, fucking
Yeah, yeah,
Entomb,
yeah.
you know, HM2
So
sound.
I'd say those honestly. Add you have Gate Creeper in there. You have those four bands. I think those bands kind of spawned it.
Okay.
If you want to go way back, fucking Black Breath.
Yeah,
Black Breath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black
also
Breath,
Hooded
yeah.
Menace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mammoth Grinder.
Mammoth Grinder was a big one from Texas.
They're from Texas. That's
Like,
Chris Olsh from
yeah.
Power
That
Trip.
is a sick.
Yeah,
name. I gotta
and
write
Mammoth
that
Grinder. If you have not listened to Mammoth Grinder, they're one of the greatest
That
bands
band is
from Texas.
fucking hard.
And really like before there was a new wave. They were one of the first bands to like cross over punk and hardcore into death metal for Texas
death
in the
metal
newer
punk.
scene.
Who was it?
Mammoth Grinder.
Mammoth Grinder,
Yeah,
okay.
it's got Chris Olsh from Power Trip and Impalers and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his. He was in that band and they're awesome, super sick band.
Man, we just threw so many great bands to people and myself.
Oh yeah, we could just. I mean, we could go all day.
Yeah, we
about
could
it.
keep going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
There's a lot of
tons.
shit.
There's a ton, man. Listen to Iron Age.
One of the greatest Texas hardcore
like
bands.
the one of the
crossover.
one of the
fucking-
best crossover bands to
Yeah.
ever exist, man.
Sleeping
Amazing.
Eye, like top 10 album for me.
Yeah,
Really?
Yes, that album.
yeah. And if you like Power Trip, you're gonna fucking love
this-
Iron Age.
Yeah,
You're
there
gonna
wouldn't
love
be a
Iron
Power
Age.
Trip without Iron Age.
Yeah, like they're just they're all great bands from Texas. You know.
You ever heard Eternal Champion?
No.
Oh, man.
man.
That's Jason from Iron Age. That's his like traditional heavy metal style band.
And they're one of the best to do it.
And
Yeah.
he's a fucking blacksmith.
Oh, yeah.
he makes fucking swords
Yeah.
and shit.
I got a sword
And he writes
from
like
it.
fantasy novels for a fucking living.
It's
Dude's
fucking amazing.
He's
He's,
about
a,
it.
he's a good friend. and
this-
like,
Look at that shit.
Serious.
That's him with one of his
Eternal
fucking
Champion.
swords, dude.
yeah.
That is a sword.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
You
real
want to talk
sword.
about you want to talk about Texas hardcore legacy?
Yeah.
like
It comes
that
from all-
that man
yeah.
right there, that band Iron Age.
Look at that cover.
Like
Yep.
like the Iron Age, Eternal Champion, great stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
Great stuff. Band's fucking legendary.
Kind of forefathers to all of us in a way.
Yeah, literally.
Wow. Well, to be honest, the first time I ever heard of like Blood and Incantation was actually today.
Oh,
Yeah. I kept hearing like the band name, but I mean, dude, listening to newer bands literally is a full-time job.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
there's so much shit coming
Okay.
out all the time.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
nuts. So like when I hear
Yeah.
a band, okay, I'll check them out, but then you hear it under 10.
Yeah.
So I literally checked out that band, and then they have like, okay, this is fucking sick. And then I always, what was up with their latest record?
The synth.
Yeah,
so
I think they just were paying homage to like.
so they're all about like.
It's like what is going on? It's sick.
Tangerine Dream.
Yeah, they're all about like
70s
that
shit.
lo-fi like synth stuff, and in like interviews and stuff, they were like, oh yeah, like when they knew when the band started, like we want to do like just a straight like synth record.
Whoa.
And they were like, they wanted to be like a palate cleanser between their like latest album and then their next like metal album.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did that get any backlash at all?
Oh, we got a ton of backlash.
Yeah.
People were like, "This isn't fucking metal," and it's like, well, a band can do whatever the fuck they want. So like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just thought it was a little boring. I mean, I do like Tangerine Dream and some stuff like that.
Sure.
But props to them just for fucking doing whatever they want to do. You know, I mean, that's what it's about.
It's a ballsy move,
Yeah,
man.
dude, fuck it.
Because they're talking straight death metal.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's weird. Like, I feel like in this age, you know, with the internet and like so much availability for like so many different styles of music, like there's totally room to explore that kind of stuff. So like, I'm like, and actually, like we're all in this band huge fans of synth.
Yeah.
Like we love synthwave. We love like all the synthy style bands,
Yeah, we
like
just love electronic
Depeche
music.
Mode and electronic music, like Drab Majesty and stuff. We love all that stuff, and so like to see a band explore that stuff is cool. You know?
They explored it more on the fucking home, fucking interplanetary alignment of chakras kind of shit. Whereas we're more just like into the dancey fun stuff.
Yeah, we like. I mean, I wouldn't.
We don't nerd out on the pyramids.
Ear candy.
I
Ear candy.
I wouldn't have minded if they would have dropped a beat in there.
Yeah.
But hey,
Fucking
it's cool. They're expressing themselves, and that's sick. Do the thing.
Full-on record.
We have a lot of stuff like that
On our
on
record,
our
yeah,
record.
we got a lot of- but
we
it's
have
more
a straight up
dancey.
synthwave song on our record, like straight up synthwave. It's called Annihilation, and it's literally a minute or so long song.
If you heard the song Glacial Domination, the first minute or so of that is part of that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
on
its
the
own
music
track
video.
on the record.
I was going to ask you about that song too, because you guys got your band got Matt Heafy on there. I was like, I'm gonna ask you about that song. Like, did you get a backlash from that because you really stepped up on the production sound? And I know people get kind of weird, they went.
I mean,
it sounds too.
I mean, the nerds on Reddit got super fucking mad, but that's because it's fucking Reddit. So
Yeah, I mean, we had
overall, it's been like a really great response. Like our fans
Dude, he's
love
a
it.
fucking awesome guy and
Yeah.
super smart and loves music. He gets it, you know.
Yeah, he's really down to earth and he's a hard worker, but he's not so he doesn't push you over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we.
He's fun.
You know, it was surprising. Like I was nervous. With that song. We co-wrote that song with him. Oh, that's sick. There's two songs on the record. That and then Abominable on the record. We both of those songs were co-written with us and him. And at first, when you're taking risks and stuff, and you're changing things up, it's like an unknown territory. So I was nervous about it. I think it turned out sick. We're all happy with it. And I was kind of expecting a little bit more backlash actually.
Yeah.
But it really the support was fucking overwhelming. There was an overwhelming amount of support. Everybody is really feeling it. Even the friends and fans that are honest with me and us and are always shooting straight. Even they were like, I was expecting them to be, this isn't fucking gore grind, this isn't mortician worship, but they weren't. They were like, wow, this is catchy but sick and still heavy, and I don't know, it actually caught me off guard. I was expecting to get more, so it's been fucking awesome.
One of the only people that really said anything to us was Philip, the owner of Century Media. He was just like, man, I'm really excited for you guys, I'm glad you're working with Matt, but please make a death metal record. We're like, dude, yeah, of course. That's all we can do.
I mean, you've met Philip, or you've talked to Philip probably. Philip, he's a fucking death metal guy.
He's a cool dude.
All the way through, and so he's he is a huge supporter of us. He's been a good friend, and
he's taking care of us.
And he was being nice, but he was just like, please make a death metal record.
I don't want a metalcore record, guys. We're like, we can't do that.
I mean, that's just
I
not
don't know
what we do.
I don't know how to write that stuff anyways.
Technically, it kind of is, because you're never taking the core out of me, ever.
Yeah.
You cannot. It's ingrained in me. But it's
What if Sam was like, we should have, I have this metalcore intro.
Well, we
say
would
no.
No, we would entertain it. You know, like
course.
there's definitely a lot of riffs he threw at us that we were like, no, yes, but we always got to like make it our own. Yeah, we put
he's
the
very-
Frozen Soul spin on it.
Like
you know what I mean?
this, like the
But-
original riff he gave us sounds almost nothing like what it does like now.
Yeah, when we say we
reworked
wrote it, man, we really wrote it together. Like
Yeah.
we sent ideas back. We crafted it to make it a Frozen Soul song, but still have like Heafy's like influence and input and stuff. So.
Yeah, we're very picky about our sound and stuff. We'll rewrite a song 20 times, you know, before we're happy with it, and we have like
Wow.
hours worth of fucking riffs.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
He's also really encouraging of that and like wants to hear that too. Like
Yeah.
like he supports us like as a fan of the band also.
Yeah,
And, like,
and then
really
at no point even we were like, nah, we kind of don't like that. He was just like, okay, yeah, no problem. He
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like one of those people who's like, well, I think, and
Sure.
no, he's
Yeah, it's like
fucking cool. To
yeah,
work
he'll
with.
give us an idea and we'll try and we'll be like, we just don't like it. He's like, all right, cool, let's try this.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was real positive. Like going out there to the Trivium compound, they own like an airport hangar out in Florida where they do all their shit. We spent a week out there with them, and that was like intimidating at first. Like I was kind of
Yeah,
nervous
big
to meet
time.
him because I was like, oh man, this dude's doing all this stuff. But as soon as you meet him, you're like, oh, this is like an old buddy. Just down there.
It's so cool, man. It was a cool experience. Really cool, dude.
So you all drove there and just hung out and
No, we
we
flew
flew.
out
flew,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yep, that's the
It's part of
compound.
it. But on the
Started.
inside, dude, it's huge.
Yeah, like down below, there's like that's like you could fit a whole airplane in there.
And also below that is like some living areas and showers.
It's where
and,
they
like,
have
a
all their
kitchen.
guitars and gear too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
got like a
That was
full
early on.
full garage with like all their props and like a basketball court and everything too.
Yeah,
That's
it was
the
awesome.
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah,
was
next
awesome.
time he's like, yeah, we got to. They're building a studio there right now. He's like, next time we're gonna record here.
All the Trivium
We did all
are really cool.
pre-production out there though.
Nice. So it's a nice full collab. Just
Yeah.
having a good time. I was
Yeah.
what's that song, Crypt Device? And what was I mean, obviously that has like a lot of streams. Like, what was like the writing process like for that song?
I'm like the primary writer of that song. I mean, I was just trying to I was listening to Obituary one day and I was like, I kind of want to do that, but do my like own spin on it. I think it was the song like Dead Silence or something like that. And, and then I came up with this like crisscross riff pattern where it's like, and I just spread it out a little bit and just made it kind of groovy. And then me and him just got in a room and like banged it out together. He's like the structure guy. I'm like the riff guy of the band.
Yeah, he'll come up with a riff, and then I'll like take the riff and then like figure out a way to like switch it up and add in that movement to it to where it's like it catches you by surprise and makes you like, I don't know, invoke some kind of like feeling. Where you want to move. We have a lot of parts like that throughout the records and the songs where it's like it'll
Set up
build
the
and build
breakdown.
and build, and then it'll hit, and the timing will change, and it'll be real groovy or something. Classic hardcore style stuff. But like in like a death metal way. So that's really how that song came out, and like at the end, there's like a big timing switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sick.
Yeah, it goes from like
We usually end the set with that song because it's fucking just
Yeah.
heavy fucking. And the ending's so sick on it.
You said crisscross riff. What is it?
so
Cross
it's
riff?
like
Was-
if I could play a guitar now, I'd show you. But it's like my fingers going from like 1 4, like 3 2 2 3 4 1. It's really weird
Because
to
we're
describe
playing
it.
drop A, so it's like
My favorite tuning.
if you were playing standard, it'd be way hard to play.
Yeah.
know?
I call it the crisscross riff because my fingers like crisscross each other whenever I wrote it.
Yeah. Drop A is the best tuning.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And then drop A through like a Peavey is just, you just can't beat it.
That's what we do.
That's literally-
6505s, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like the
Max on
heaviest.
overdrives.
Yeah.
What is there a difference between the? I remember like back in the day, we would talk like, okay, like the 5150 sounds the same as the 5152, and anyone that owned a 2 knows like you're
No,
fucking
yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
like, it's a completely different sound.
Yeah.
It's different for sure.
Yeah, yeah. A lot more saturation.
Yeah. What is the difference between the?
The plus and the non-plus.
Well, what's the difference between the 5150 and the 605s.
6505s.
Yeah. Have you seen the
It's
difference?
over my head.
6505s and like I guess the 5152 are probably a little bit closer to each other than a regular 5150. 655's they're a one-trick pony. The lead channel sounds fucking amazing. Super saturated, great gain, super heavy. The rhythm channel fucking sucks. It's just pretty much unusable. So you just put it on the one channel and go for it. We use 6505s. And I use a 6505 plus. He uses a regular 6505.
I'm getting a plus when we get back home.
Yeah,
though,
on this tour he's using a plus.
Yeah, actually, the last tour we did before this one, Dying Fetus in Europe, I was using a plus for that one. I was like, damn, my tone sounds a little bit more like chunky and like heavy.
Yeah, they got a little more bass to them than a regular 6505.
Yeah, they're also 120 watts, right?
Right.
So they got a little bit more headroom than the regular 6505.
Nice.
But the 5153s, the newest ones, I really don't like.
I
those
don't like
at
them
all.
either.
Yeah.
Now the 5150 Iconic,
Yeah,
those sound fucking sick. Dahlia's using those on this tour, and they sound fucking so good.
Yeah,
Really?
they're like a hybrid amp. They're like half solid state, half tube,
And they're 80 watts.
and they're fucking cheap. Like you can get one for less than $1,000 brand new.
Nice.
But James Brown, the original engineer who made the original 5150s, he made these for Fender, but they're EVH now.
Yes.
They sound fucking great. I bought one just because they're so cheap. You know, I got it for like $600 for the house.
Nice.
And great amp for the money, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're not bad.
Oh wow, that's not bad at all.
No, dude. And the rhythm channel sounds good on it. The cleans sound decent. They put reverb in it for some reason, and it's fucking sounds like garbage. But everything else is it's like a shitty spring reverb. But everything else sounds good.
What you use on the album?
Couple of different amps.
So for my rhythm tracks, we used my normal 6505, and then the studio had a Marshall JCM 900 SLX. So me personally, I wanted to kind of get like a death metal version of like the Ride the Lightning guitar tone,
Of course.
because that's like my favorite guitar tone of all time. And we used just a standard Mesa with V30s, and the guy that owned the studio, his dad used to work for like Jackson and Acoustic back in the day. He was like a
Eminent
speaker
speakers,
designer,
yeah.
and he had this cab up there that his dad designed from the 80s. It's a Jackson cab, and it has these like Eminent speakers in it or some shit like that.
They're red cones. They're the one speaker he designed for Jackson.
And dude, they have like the just fattest low end.
It was the most insane sound.
Yeah.
I remember when they found it, they like brought me into the room. They're like, "You gotta hear this shit now."
It's weird because like on its own, it kind of sounds shitty.
But blended.
But blended with the V30s, oh my god, it sounds
best.
fucking
It was
awesome.
fucking insane.
And
Yeah.
when we were first recording guitar tracks, we lost like 2 days worth of work because like the mic was falling and then the DI was like clipping, and we were all pissed off. We're like, "Fuck, that sucks." But then we got this robot the studio had that moves the mic around wherever
You can control
want.
it from the
You can
computer.
control it.
Always
And,
found
like,
one of those.
yeah, and that's when we discovered some other stuff, and we like got it dialed in even better. We're like, "Oh, I'm glad we lost those
yeah,
guitar tracks. They
yeah.
sound
yeah,
way
it just like
better."
happened to work
Yeah.
out to where it sounded fucking even better.
But yeah, that Jackson cab was so sick. I actually found one on Facebook Marketplace for like $200 and bought it. I was like,
We gotta quit telling people about this cab because we need to stock up on them before everybody finds out how good they are.
Secret weapon.
We're
That's like a
gatekeeping now.
crazy.
Yeah. Gatekeeping tones.
Well, even it's funny how someone could play like your exact rig or exact drum set or bass rig, but I mean it will sound different with
Hand tone. Hand tone,
It's
dude.
in-
Not only
it's in-
hand tone,
it's
but
in
like
hands.
like the guitar itself too. Like every guitar is different. Even if you have like the same pickups and everything,
It's so different.
Every guitar is different.
Yeah.
Especially when you'll have someone build it. Okay, like same wood, same pickup, same or whatever, and then like they'll say, "Oh wait, this sounds completely different."
Yeah.
Different tree.
It's just
You know?
different tree.
Yeah, people argue all the time, like, does tone woods matter? I think it's all the pickups that matter, blah, blah. I think tone woods do matter. You
Oh
know?
yeah, they
Same.
absolutely do.
You know, when you
Same.
strum a guitar before you even plug it in, you can hear its resonance. You can see what it sounds like a little bit, you know. And if it's just dead wood, it's never going to sound good no matter what pickups you put in it, you know.
Yeah, I always hear people say, "Oh, all you gotta do is put on EMGs and it sounds like the same." I'm like, "What are you
Not
talking
really.
about?"
no,
Yeah, no.
absolutely not.
Sorry, Chad. I know we're talking about all this. Gear.
I'm just like, hey man, I just like fucking chugs, dude. That's what I like.
Sam's
if it
got some
chugs,
sick
brother,
gear.
I like
She's got
it.
a million sick fucking basses. And
Yeah.
she's using this dark glass head now that just fucking crushes.
It's like crunchy.
It's sick.
Oh, dude, it's massive.
I love it. It's badass and it's really light. I
it's
can just
the-
fit it in my backpack.
It's the Alpha Omega, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking super sick.
She just got this brand new fucking custom shop Ironbird. It's like a 86, 87.
Yeah.
It's a 87. It's actually on our Instagram. I did a video of my basses, all my pointy basses and stuff.
But yeah, it's like this blue burst. It's so fucking bad. It sounds there's a picture right there of her playing. It sounds fucking crazy massive.
Oh, yeah.
And
like
it's
custom
huge.
shop.
Yeah, it's a custom
It's
shop.
super
yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, BC Rich, you need to be sending Sam some basses. Quit fucking off.
Yeah,
For
for
real.
real.
Yeah.
For
Y'all,
real.
y'all repost her all the time and use her for Instagram likes. Give her a fucking bass.
And follow me, and don't give me shit.
That bass looks like you're going to kill somebody.
That's just
Yeah, you
that's
could.
my regular. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking gigantic too. It's
Yeah,
massive.
me and Sam have to sync our movement on stage because I almost smashed my face in my life on her headstock.
Wow.
Yeah, the bass is so sick.
That's
so cool.
That's sick. Well, well, speaking of gear, Michael, oh my, oh wow.
Oh, this fucking video.
Oh yeah. This is how we warm up before a show.
Yeah, this
listen to some
is warming up.
Yeah, Sergeant Ice Cream, 6 Feet Under.
Good old 6 feet under.
That's the fucking dude. Yeah. The meme of that song is just fucking hilarious too. They're all like vibing in the studio because the riff's so tight, and then the vocals come in. They're like, "What the?"
If someone
fuck?
puts on 6 Feet Under, I don't know why I just get fucking pumped.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I love the first couple albums.
Yeah.
You know, Warpath
They got
and
some
all that
fucking
shit's fucking.
riffs.
Yeah, the
They
song
do.
Torture
Primal.
Killer. Oh my god, the song Torture Killer has like some of the hardest riffs, man.
For real.
Like,
If you're gonna do
crazy.
obituary, you can't help but like the first couple records.
Totally.
Yeah, it's who Alan, what's his name?
Fuck. I know who you're talking
Alan
about.
West. One of the dudes from Obituary
Yeah.
was playing guitar for
James Murphy.
On the first,
Yeah.
like two.
Wait, was it
records, I
James
think.
Murphy?
I think it's Alan something. I don't know.
There's the king himself right there.
Shout out Chris
Oh, Terry
Barnes.
Butler.
Yeah.
Played,
Shout out.
Yeah,
Man.
Terry Butler played in that too. That song
Man.
420 though, man. Right when it fucking kicks in, it sounds like someone stepped on a cat's tail. He's like, "Wow." It fucking cracks me up every
Literally
fucking
sick
time I
as
hear
fuck.
it.
OG, man.
Seriously.
Okay, Michael and Chad, please. Okay, so I'm out of the loop. Hey, please explain Magic: The Gathering to me.
Right here, baby.
Because-
Yeah, also
Right here, got the hat on, ready to go.
You ever play the Pokemon card game?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck? No.
Well, I
Okay,
could
so-
because it's actually way more complicated than Pokemon.
Yeah.
that's how.
Or it's not as complicated as Pokemon.
Because that's how you met, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we met at a comic shop in the DFW area called Generation X.
Okay.
And I remember like walking in to like play at like a F&M tournament one night, and I just saw this dude with like a Slowly We Rot back print on his shirt. I was like, oh shit.
Rest
This
in
guy,
peace, that shirt. It's now disintegrated. I wore it so much.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, like we just met over some Magic and played games. Eventually started the band. But yeah, Magic, man, it's really fun. It's very complicated. Basically, like you use lands to play your spells. You play one land a turn, and the cost of the spells or whatever is like in the top right corner. That's how much mana or lands you need to cast it. And then there's so many different like play styles and stuff you can do. You can be like super aggressive with like small creatures. You can make a bunch of like an army of like small tokens and stuff like that. Or you can do like big fat creatures that just like run over everything. Or you can be like a like control, so you like just stop your opponent from doing shit too. It's crazy.
Yeah, like the gist of the game is like you have 20 life, and the whole point is your opponent has 20 life, and you need to kill them.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but
like-
there's more ways to win
Yeah.
than just getting their life points down.
Yeah, you need to use the resources of this deck of cards that you have to kill your opponent, and like it's like a super it's a super sick game because there's a lot of critical thinking to it.
Oh yeah.
So like having to like construct your deck and like put things in it that you like to do the specific things you like to do in your life. Like if you're like the type of person that's more meticulous, you could build that kind of deck. If you're a hasty person that likes to get shit done, you could build that kind of deck where it's like you just want to smash your opponent right now. Like really it's like it's a game to think, and I usually like use like Dungeons and Dragons mixed with chess to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the art is super sick.
Yeah.
Super, super sick. Like just looking up like those are all paintings. Like
Those
those
are
are
paintings?
real
Yeah,
paintings,
real paintings.
like that people
didn't
are
know
doing.
that.
Those cards can be worth a shitload of money. Chad makes money flipping these.
Yeah,
fucking things.
my main source
That's a
of like
painting?
Yes.
These are paintings?
those are
Wow.
paintings. Oh yeah, and our artist James Bousema, who did our artwork for this new
Glacial
record,
Domination.
he's doing a bunch of special magic cards for Wizards that aren't out yet.
You guys, you're all stoked.
And
yeah.
when
Yeah, Mark
I-
Riddick. Mark
Yeah.
Riddick did some stuff for them too not too
Yeah.
long ago, like
So-
a couple sets ago or something like that.
But like collecting this stuff is like sick. The art is amazing. Like you can get play mats made that have artwork on them, and you know it's like
you just
it's-
get like immersed.
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
more than a game. It's just like
It's a
really
lifestyle.
fun and cool, and it's everything to do with it's a lifestyle. It really is. This is my main hobby outside of music. So
Me
I can
and
tell.
Matt are the only ones that really don't play. Sam plays too.
hey, Matt bought a Magic deck.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm taking notes on all this. Yeah, I got a deck and a playmat. I just haven't played yet.
I just remember when we played Montreal on this tour, like everybody's hanging out backstage and people are partying, and Chad and them got their mats out. They're playing Magic. Martine from Terra's like, "What are y'all doing? Like play Magic?" He's like, "I got some for you." And he like puts on some dungeon synth on his phone,
Yeah.
which is straight up like
Yeah.
D&D music, like you know.
Yeah, to get us in me and-
like he had the
yeah.
whole fucking the mood set back there for him. He's like, "Here you go,
Yeah.
dudes. I got some music."
Yeah, me and Mike are like literally sitting there like intensely in this game, you know, because there's a bunch of
Everybody
cool
else
stuff
is just
you can
fucking
do.
partying all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, one of the coolest things is like every like 3 months a new set comes out. And so like what they do is they have these like pre-release events. So you get this little kit and it comes with 6 booster packs of 15 cards each. And what you do is if you're a new player, there's a guide that you could follow and you could put together a 40 card deck out of just those packs. And then you play in a small tournament and you win prizes and stuff. So what me and Mike do is like when a new set comes out, we'll find a comic store in the area while we're on tour, and we'll essentially build that deck and then we'll play each other with it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's cool, man. Look into it. You'll probably really like it,
Is
man.
it the artist here, James?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, James Bousema, yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did the Spirit World cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the
Municipal
latest
Waste.
Municipal Waste
Yeah.
album too. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's just now really getting into doing album covers. For bands and
He's
stuff.
he's an insanely talented artist, and not only that, but like, and look,
Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Those are some games I
yeah,
fucking love.
dude, this is
Elden
what I
Ring.
love about James. If you look at every piece of art that he has, there is something unique and different, and that right there, that's the reason why I was like, this is the guy we got to use.
Yeah, it's
Hey, Jay, click on the Sub-Zero guy. Boom.
This
Yeah,
one right
that's-
here, this is the one that I was like,
that's Frozen Soul.
he is like,
Yeah. That
is-
he
that
can
is your
do,
band.
Yeah, that's
he
Frozen
can
Soul.
do anything. He can do anything. He's super talented, super nice guy. Whoa. And it's actually they're in the van right now, but he drove 3. He lives in Vegas. He drove 3 hours to the show last night, and he gave us magic cards, one for each of us. And on
They're
the back,
painted.
he custom painted a weapon on each one of them, an ice weapon for our song Arsenal of War, so that we each have a weapon in our Arsenal of War. And like just the best dude, solid, most awesome.
Super
dude.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Nice.
Super
is
great
very
guy. And look at
sweet.
the battle rock. Look at that.
It's so sick.
Yeah, see, he's just great. He's
Fucker's badass, ain't it?
Yeah.
Badass, ain't it, man? God damn.
But yeah, super versatile artist. Like can kind of just go and do whatever. Like that
that
little
should-
dwarf right there. Yeah, the Balrog.
Balrog's
Those are some of the paintings I saw that I was like, holy shit, this guy is insane. Like he's just, and also he's a digital artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So like this stuff does not even like look digital, like it. And I mean he's a painter. Period. So he can paint all this stuff, but he just
evil, dude.
it's insane. Like it's so
Yeah.
good. Look at that.
Oh, wow, the detail.
Like he's
Oh,
just
the beard.
He's
and-
a
and
master.
the
He's
blood.
awesome.
Wow.
And it's cool because like we found him thanks to Municipal Waste, honestly. I mean, we noticed him
Thanks to our
because of
homies.
Municipal Waste. And Velio, who did our art before, we were actually going to go with him, but he wasn't available. He said that he was like too booked up and he wouldn't be able to get to it
Yeah.
when we needed it. So we went with this guy, and dude crushes.
That's
So
great.
good.
Well, so you meet at a comic book store, correct?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then, and then, okay, is it like, okay, hey, let's go to Amazon, look for a snow machine? Like, what's like?
I mean, honestly, kind of.
Actually, so Yeah, I mean, well, like he was playing in a hardcore band called Vulgar Display that just like recently broken up. I was playing in a like Black and Crust band called Wild Speaker, but it wasn't really my thing. I wanted to play like I was playing bass. I wanted to like play guitar and do like just straight death metal. And yeah, we just kind of like got to it. We had another band called End Times that we were working on for a minute. And then Frozen Soul kind of popped off, and we just took that and ran with it.
Yeah. We were actually like when Frozen Soul like we met at the shop, started talking death metal, started talking Bolt Thrower, and then we actually met up with our friend Kyle, who was in who's in Judiciary, which is like a hardcore band from Texas on Closed Casket. And we started we didn't have a name or anything, and we tried to get that going. And when that didn't, everyone was so busy, it didn't work out. They were kind of far from us, and it was hard to do that. We ended up getting my old band End Times back together. And then we wrote a whole record, did all this stuff, and then
we were still like fired up from like we recorded that album. We were still like fired up. I still had a bunch of riffs left over that
we just got to town. We just went to town on it. And then,
End Times is like a way more like a epic and melodic type of band, and like the leftover riffs I had were like a lot more like heavier, kind of like Meathead shit. And so we just, like I said, we were still fired up and wrote the Encased in Ice demo.
Oh yeah, it came together really fast. We wrote Hand of Vengeance on that record like super quick. Like I think
it was like right after we recorded that End Times album.
We went into your room and just like we just went to town and wrote that whole song like in one night.
Yeah,
and it was like, and we were like, let's do this shit.
Yeah,
like, let's go. And
how did Sam come in the picture?
I mean, she was already like a friend of ours, and she was playing bass in a band called Vermiculated that ended up just kind of like fizzling out. And you know, she still wanted to play, and we needed a bass player. So like, hey, you want to play bass for us? And
we all live together too.
We were all roommates.
Yeah,
so,
and it's like Sam is like super passionate about everything she does, and so like she's always told me about how much like she wants to play bass and wants to be in a band, and how she just loves fucking Dying Fetus and stuff. And I was like, Sam needs to be the bass player. Yeah. Sam needs to play bass. And she literally 3 months before this band picked up the bass and like learned that shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like this is like, and then her first show ever was literally opening for Blood Incantation and Necrot with us.
The first time playing live.
The first time playing live was a sold out show.
Yeah. It was
that was her first fucking show. Oh, it was, and she just fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
She stepped up to the plate, fucking learned her instrument, just went to town buying gear. You know, like exactly.
How many basses do you have now, Sam?
I have 7 now.
7? Yeah. Fucking sick at most of them are like vintage badass fucking bass.
Yeah, we gave her it's like she took a master class on shit right away and just like was in it. And then I mean right after we played our first show, a couple months later, we were on tour.
Yep.
Like we were on tour immediately. Like a few months later. We were on tour, and then we did
Encased in
another
Ice came out like March of 2019, and then we did our first tour like June 2019.
Yeah. So it's like, we did double duty too. It was End Times and Frozen Soul. And then we just like went out, you know, and everything. So yeah, it's been awesome. Sam, ultimate bass player.
Yeah,
seriously.
I try.
And sick
you do a good
tattoo
job.
artist.
And sick tattoo
Yeah,
artist.
she owns
too.
her own tattoo studio back in Fort Worth too.
Wrangling being in a
Holy
full-time
moly.
band and having her own tattoo shop.
I was actually learning how to play bass and being an apprentice for tattooing at the same time. So
Yeah.
It was crazy.
it was a very wild time for me.
Yeah.
And now everything's like kind of coming around full circle, and it's pretty sick.
You just made time.
This is my life. Like I don't do anything else other than, you know,
Those two things.
those 2 things. So those are my.
And play Overwatch.
I play Overwatch and everything, but I mean that's literally it consumes me. So
It kind of consumes all of us. That's
Yeah.
what all of us do. It's just this shit.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Chad, imagine like, you know, how far like this band has come. You know, you just working at, you going from Circuit City and now we're at work, and then at work.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
where
man.
you and the band have gone. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, I never imagined, man. It's actually funny. Like when I worked at Circuit City way back in the day, I didn't know anybody, And one of the first people I met in the scene was Riley Gale from Power Trip.
Really?
It was actually at Red Blood Club in Dallas, which was like one of the most for
that was
us.
the place,
It's a legendary spot for
Okay.
for venue in downtown in Deep Ellum in
That's
Dallas.
where all the punk and hardcore shows were.
And I'll never forget, like, I worked at Circuit City, and how we connected was like I met him. He introduced himself to me because I was by myself, and then he told me that he worked at Best Buy. And he fucking hated it. And so I was like, dude, I work at Circuit City and I fucking hate it. And it's like, and it literally, from there on, it just like fucking snowballed. No pun intended. I guess there's some pun there, but it literally just like snowballed. And it's like, I gave my life to it, and it's crazy that we're even like sitting at this table in my eyes. Every day, man, every day something crazy happens, and I'm just like, what the
Yeah.
my head just like blows up because I'm like, I never thought.
What happened to Circuit City?
Dude, I think it just went under because it sucked ass. It was terrible.
Weren't you security?
No, I wasn't security. I sold fucking CDs, and like
that's a long time
I
ago.
was the lowest on the fucking totem pole there. Like I was the guy that stocked the DVDs and the CDs, and my manager would be like, you didn't do this yet." And I'd be like, "Brother, like just because you didn't see me do it didn't mean I did." Man, fuck this. And this was like, I got a fucking tour. I've got to like get the fuck out of here because I can't do this shit. Like I can't do this normie ass shit.
I forgot that Circuit City sold CDs.
Yeah, CD video section. Video
remember
games.
CD stores? Remember you go in and you could like put it on and listen to it to see if you liked it?
Sam Goody. Sam
remember.
Goody.
Sam Goody.
Yeah.
You know who's still going strong is Barnes and Noble. They have CDs still.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they do have a whole
They got
section.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like other stuff too.
Yeah. Books.
CD warehouse.
Yeah, fucking nerds.
Oh, dude.
Well, there's only one. The CD warehouse in Arlington is like, he just bought. So our friend owns a record store in Arlington. It's called CD Warehouse, but only because he bought into the franchise like 20 years ago.
And he's independent now.
Yeah, and they provided him with like the POS system, to sell this shit and everything. But it's a straight record store. It's like it's a badass.
Yeah,
record store.
Oh,
Yeah, right
dude, there used to be so many shows that happened there too. That's where like I played one of my first shows was in that record store.
Whoa. Holy moly.
We had our record release at that.
Well, we had a record
Record
signing.
signing
like,
and all that stuff.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, and actually that's the flyer for it.
That was
it
the
is.
first show.
That's the flyer.
That was the first show we played, which we had a beer come out for, and we did a record signing and played a show. This is the first show we played since the pandemic. So it was
Outside
about a year
the
and a
pandemic.
half with no shows.
It was crazy.
And
the record had come out during the pandemic, and we thought, we'd never tour again.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do live streams for the rest of our life or something.
Wow.
And then we put together that
this was in what was that May?
and those are all with our friends too. Like we just put it together with our friends. It's
Yeah.
not like some big thing. We know the guys who run the CD warehouse, and then we're friends with
the brewery.
the guy who runs the brewery.
So originally we weren't going to play that day, but they had just lifted the mask mandates in Texas. In Texas, like shit came back a lot faster. Than other places, and we were still kind of feeling weird about it. But it was an outdoor show, so we're like, I think it would make people more comfortable. Well, 800 fucking people showed up. to
Yeah,
that
it was
show.
like fucking nuts.
It was
People
fucking
were on the
nuts.
roof
There was
of the
400.
buildings.
There was 400 people just at a record signing.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was
nuts.
crazy.
People flew in from Mexico.
Yeah.
Somebody flew in from
Yeah.
Alaska. People flew in from all over the country for this shit.
Yeah, it was
and then
like
we threw
crazy.
a festival, which is our Wrecking Ball Metal Madness Festival. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yes.
the live stream we did. So that is an actual real fest we do every year now. We're about to announce this year's. It's 2 days, crazy fucking lineups.
Wow.
Yeah, and that festival sold out too, which was in June of 2021. July of
Yeah,
2021. During the pandemic, for most people, where they're still locked down in Texas, dude, people came from all over the country for it. It was like
Yeah, it
1,000
was like
people.
crazy, man.
It was sick.
And that lineup was sick too.
Oh, yeah,
my
dude.
goodness.
All
Yeah.
the fucking friends. Like it's just
all
like
the
the
homies.
giant homie fest.
Yeah,
like
just all
was
the
awesome.
new wave of death metal bands everybody's talking about. They're all friends, and we're like, let's all do this shit together. Let's keep it fucking going.
yeah. And we're actually we're going to be dropping a live stream based off of last year's event. It's that live picture right up
click
there
that
to the right.
live at Wrecking Ball.
And we're gonna be doing a like a live stream where we filmed a bunch of the sets, and like we filmed some in betweens, and you know, for anybody that actually watched like the live stream, there's some really funny stuff that was in between the sets.
Yeah, really funny skits.
So like the host, the dude who did Mr. Wraith of Death, who did the one we live streamed, he was actually at the show, like doing stuff, interviewing people, and like fucking with them.
That was Fugitive's first set too.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
We wanted to, be like a Tales from the Crypt kind of like humor mixed with everything.
Mixed with like, it's like Tales from the Crypt, the funny puns from Tales of the Crypt mixed with like the host aspect of like Headbangers Ball.
Yeah.
You know, so that it's like he's a host, and that the character comes from like our music videos and stuff.
The Wraith of Death.
So,
Okay.
yeah, and we have him like on all of the flyers, and this is the flyers are all like me and a buddy do the flyers, but the painting is actually his name's Jerry. He goes under the name Wormwalk. He paints all of those on wood for us, and then we we get everything done old school. Like, you know, so like it's a real painting, and it's similar to like 80s style, like horror covers and stuff like that. Like it's a very like, and he did like, I did the arrangement of the flyer and stuff, but he did the painting.
Yeah.
I
He does
did the
a ton
flyer
of
and all
stuff
that.
for
I
us.
do most of like our art stuff, like when putting together our art files. And
Yeah, he's the Photoshop
Yeah,
guy.
here's a little plug for Chad. He's really sick at making logos. Like our logo, he drew.
Yeah, I drew
And
our
he's drawn a
logo.
lot of logos for other bands and stuff too.
Like like, you know, I mean, you're in a band, you know how it is. Like early on, like you can like pay people to do stuff that you just like don't really know how to explain to them to do, or you could just fucking learn how to do it yourself.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's literally what I did. Like we're just like, let's do this shit. If we're gonna make an old school death metal band, let's do this shit old school. And I just like learned how to do some stuff to try to do it, because I could never explain it. And even getting our first logo done, you know, the guy, Jason Barnett, super fucking cool dude. I love him. But like, I just could not get I couldn't get the image out of my head on paper or in writing to help him see how I wanted it. And I didn't want to waste his time anymore. So I was like, you know, I paid him for a logo he did for us. And then I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna learn how to do this shit myself.
Did you know how to draw at this point or no?
You like dabbled a little bit in the
Yeah,
past,
I've
right?
always drawn in my life.
like doodles and stuff.
I used to draw anime characters when I was a little kid and stuff like that. and whatnot, but like I kind of like I gave up on all that stuff.
Yeah, the original live stream, we actually made a bunch of VHS tapes.
Sick.
No,
Yeah.
they're sick because it's all reclaimed VHS.
Oh, yeah.
So every one is different. So as soon as it ends, it's either like safari videos or
Ice
Ice skating, and it just worked out
Yeah.
that way. That's
Yeah.
the funny thing about this band, dude. Half the shit with Ice, it just works out
Yeah,
that way.
it's not
It's
totally
fucking
planned,
hilarious because like we didn't even try to do
That's
it.
bizarre.
Like our buddy Will.
Yeah, shout out to
He
Will.
had a tape dubber.
Yeah,
He dubbed
our
them for us.
buddy Will, insects in every hole, right on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
So he's an OG from Dallas, man. He's really good at making old school looking shit. He dubbed the tapes. He printed the labels for the tapes. Like he dubbed them. He found a collection from this old dude who had like been taping stuff his whole life. Right, and he like basically got an inherited like, you know, VHS collection, and so he just went to town, dubbed us like 300 of them. They sold out like instantly.
Yeah.
And like instantly online when we did the live
They
stream.
sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had like some left over. We had him remake like 100 more or something like that, and like we just only have our personal copies left. And I kept, you know, the tape that has Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
And the Big Green. Like seriously, this guy had like taped like all sorts of stuff from TV. And so like Will went and like dubbed over like a lot of love was put into it. Like a lot of
It's
love
really
was put
unique.
into Wrecking Ball. Like we like really did it out of pure fun,
Yeah,
you know. And
Wrecking
stuff,
Ball
so.
is a very big focus for the band too. Not just like, I mean, Frozen Soul obviously, but Wrecking Ball is something we're wanting to expand into something really big and fun for the
Yeah, ever since
death metal and hardcore community.
Yeah, ever since like Chaos and Tejas like went away, you know, there's been like kind of that void a little bit of that style of fest in Texas. I mean, there's like this other one called Oblivion Access that happens, which is
Yeah.
cool every year, but I mean, that's always in Austin. We want to have like a fest in Dallas, you know.
Yeah. Like,
Because
dude,
there hasn't
we
been a
love-
fest in Dallas like that in fucking. I don't even know if there ever has been.
Not
Yeah.
curated like we
not
do.
like how we
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Power Trips was pretty sick.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Power
Evil
Trips
Beat.
was
Evil Beat.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wrecking Ball was actually the second time I heard of your band because I had a random conversation with Trey, drummer of Diabetes.
Oh yeah,
It's like, I mean,
we love Trey.
It's like, man, what they're doing in Texas is like you should start paying attention,
Man.
And it's pretty. And then I see the lineup. Oh, they're very serious.
First time I met Trey was in Vegas in 2021 at Psycho Las Vegas, and we were just like partying. Chris Andrews was there from Devourment, and they're like blah 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 Frozen Soul, and I heard somebody say Frozen Soul, and I turned around and he's like, "Oh, what's up? It's Chris from Frozen Soul." And Trey instantly was like, "Yeah, man, I got a fucking tarp. You want to go fucking murder somebody?" And that was my first interaction. I was like, "All right, blah blah blah." Next night, I'm like tripping on mushrooms. Me and my girlfriend are, and then we fucking come across Trey. He's got glasses on with one fucking lens missing over there, and he's just like sees my girlfriend, and she does like crazy makeup. She's Hispanic, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're a Mayan princess. How much blood do you need?" And he's like, "We can go murder, blah blah blah." And I was just like, "Dude, why are you talking about is fucking murdering, dude?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Now I'm like tripping and shit. I'm like, this guy's fucking crazy, but Trey is fucking awesome.
all
I
those
love
dudes-
this
Everyone
dude.
in Dying Feet
Fucking
is
fun, man.
nothing but love for those guys.
They are special band.
They're
Yeah.
great fucking.
We're about
dudes.
to go
We're about
to
do
Europe.
our third fucking
our
tour
third run with them. They're the ones that like took us out first, like took
Yeah,
us
man.
under their wing, and we're like a band we like looked up to, and like gave us the chance to like tour with them, us and Undeath.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
they take really good care of like the bands they tour with too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
They brought us to Canada for the first time and Europe for the first time.
Great.
And now we get to go to Europe for a second time with them, and when we do all the festivals this summer, we're doing like 5 or 6 shows with them. Fucking can't
Yeah,
wait.
some club dates.
Best dudes.
John is the
Great.
funniest guy ever.
Closet funny dude, man.
Yeah.
Closet funny.
He's
Yeah,
so
Sean-
quiet.
Sean's fucking hilarious,
Yeah,
dude.
Sean's hilarious, dude.
Sean,
My
yeah.
gaming brother,
Sean will he'll crack his own self up. Like he'll say something stupid and then laugh and then start laughing more
And then
because
we'll all start
his laugh
laughing.
is like contagious.
It's
Like, it's like butthead laugh.
Yeah,
and
and
we'll
we-
just be like dying in the
Yeah.
fucking bus, just fucking cracking up.
Man,
like your
that was-
face hurts because you've been smiling and
Yeah.
laughing for so long.
Yeah, that was
you
the time of our life, man. Like that tour we did in Europe with them was so much fun. It was like so cool being on a bus with them. We had never been on a bus, so for us, like,
good moment.
yeah, it was crazy.
know? Yeah.
It's also crazy when my bunk fell down.
Isn't
in
it
the middle
crazy
of the night
how
and I
fu-
almost killed the dude from
Oh, yeah.
Cabal?
Yeah, he had top bunk, and I just remember fucking hearing, "Ah!" like somebody just fucking screaming. And I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah,
Chad's
I was
like,
like-
smashing his
Yeah.
ass.
Because those bunks, man, they're like not attached to the rails like I thought they were. They just had these little pieces of wood in between the
Spacers.
the wall, like spacers to keep the fucking shitty plywood in place. So in the middle of the night, the bus was just shaking this night like crazy.
Yeah.
And my bunk just shook loose, and I fell down and ended Dennis's life.
Yeah, almost killed Dennis.
And I'm like, Dennis, not my best friend.
He
Not-"
literally
and he's like,
screamed bloody murder.
like he was like literally like fucking like I thought I killed him. I was like 400-pound man just ended your life.
Yeah, Max, our
By
tour
falling.
driver's like, you should be sleeping on the bottom bunk.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
you're too big.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't even think about it. And after that, I'm like, God, that was such a bad idea for me to go up there.
What a dick.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was still awesome though. And shout out Cabal. Those dudes are super sick.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
really
have you
cool
listened
guys.
to Cabal.
Yes, great.
Super great guys.
Great band.
Really cool. We bonded with those guys pretty hard, especially after I shared that traumatic experience with Dennis. Rest in peace.
Whose idea was it to do the Frosthammer beer? That's sick. I always
A
wanted
little
beer.
bit mine, just because not the name or whatever, but like that brewery is real close to my house, and I'm good friends with the owner. He
Division?
Division Brewing. It's a sick brewery. They have amazing beers, but they also own a record store in the front, and they have tons, and they have like a little venue in there, and they've been putting on punk and metal shows and supporting the DIY community for a long time.
that's cool.
time.
So we were talking about it. I was like, why don't we just get Wade to fucking do a beer, and we'll make a big event out of it, and do an outside show and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Yeah, since then, I mean, it's really things have just picked up majorly for him there. He's got all kinds of badass.
Sam came up with the name and drew it.
Yeah,
Really?
she drew it.
I
She
drew
came
the
up with the
art
name.
for that. It kind of came out weird on the label, but I did the art for that, and then it ended up being the banner.
Yeah,
in the
we did a big
background.
stage
That's
banner.
sick.
And we have another beer with him too called Cold Moon that we actually released on, I think it's a winter solstice, and that moon is a full moon, and the moon's called the Cold Moon, and that was a night that we released the beer.
Yeah,
too.
we did
during
it.
the
It was cold
moon.
as fuck.
It was like 20
so-
degrees
Yeah,
outside. It was
we were
outdoors.
sick.
Everybody got sick because it was just so
Well-
fucking cold. It was like 30 degrees outside.
But nobody cared because they were so fucking wasted. Because
Yeah.
the beer is like 12% alcohol.
It's like, okay, whose idea was it to make it 10 to 12%?
that was my idea.
That was definitely Chris's fucking idea.
I'm the
dude.
fucking
this
drinker
guy
in the
right
band,
here.
so I'm like,
That's
let's get
it.
everybody
Yeah, that's it
fucked
right
up.
there.
Well, also, like,
And our friend Eric did that flyer.
yeah,
love
Chad
IPAs.
Chad doesn't really drink very much,
Yeah.
and like most beers, he's like, man, it's kind of like whatever. But at Division, they had like this really fruity beer there.
I love the fruity
that was
beers,
really
man.
good.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's do something like that. So the original one, I think it was blueberry, raspberry, pie crust filling. It tasted like blueberry pie, but it was like 12% alcohol or whatever. You know?
And they made a frosty of it that day too.
Oh yeah, we had it in
Oh,
slushies
yeah.
too.
Delicious.
Yeah,
I
served
forgot
up.
about that.
It is delicious though.
And I did the Cold Moon logo and the art for that, and we had to do that in a green room because we were on tour
Yeah,
and getting
yeah.
ready to come back
Oh, yeah.
home. And
What
it
a
was kinda-
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of black metal-y too, right? The
Yeah.
shirt and stuff.
Yeah.
Sick.
Dang.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah,
That's kind of like our throwback to the Immortal and Dark Throne, the black metal
Yeah.
shit we like.
Yeah, we used like we have a buddy. His name's Eric. He runs a distro called Mirato Distro, and he does like a lot of really cool like boots and stuff like that. And he helps me a lot with like our art. So I'll set up stuff and I'll get art from people, and we'll, you know, in this case it was like some of Sam's art, some of Velio who did our couple shirt designs outside of the Crypt of Ice art.
Yeah, shout out
It was
to
like the
Eric.
skeleton right there. And then, yeah, we always try to make it like look super old school and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, shout out to Eric. He's got a sick band from here called Crematory Stench.
oh yeah, fucking
Yeah.
insane. They're one of the bands that's on that old school wave.
Yeah.
And they are like super sick, Morbid Angel-y, like really cool.
I mean, you all mentioned like the ice thing happens on accident, just kind of just happens. But I mean, but your ideas are very well thought out and also executed in such.
You know what's
in such
funny
a
about
way.
that is like most of our ideas is like sometimes I'll just like get high and just come up with like the stupidest fucking idea, and then we're just like,
What's
wait,
wrong with it? And
Yeah.
we sit around the jam room, just talk about shit. And we're
Yeah.
like Wrecking Ball stuff. We're like, well, what if we had like a host? And what if
Yeah.
it was
and
like,
we'll laugh about
goofy.
it, and then we're like, wait a second.
like,
Yeah, I mean,
If
all
we're-
it kind of boils down to like us just like our relationships in the band.
Yeah.
Like we like to have fun.
Yeah.
And we always try to like remind ourselves, like even when shit's getting like ridiculously serious and you have to have that moment, like we always try to like remind ourselves like that you have to have fun, and everything that's good and worth having like spawns from a place of like love and fun.
Yeah.
And if it's not coming from there, then it's gonna fail.
yeah, if we're talking about something and we're not laughing about it,
Yeah.
it's gonna suck.
Like-
If we're laughing and we're all excited,
Even
we're
if
like,
someone
okay,
else
this is
doesn't
cool.
think it sucks, we'll end up thinking it sucks,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, really, it's just like we like to, and plus we've all like been playing, you know, for the most part in the band, been playing music for a long time. I mean, I've been playing and doing stuff since I was like 15, and I'm
Yeah, I
37.
about 20 years
So,
for me.
You know,
More
so
20 years actually.
I mean, like it's like, you know, like it's been a lot of like failure, you know, and learning experiences. And the failure is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing, but it's like it's been a long road. So like here when we do something, we're like, how do we make it as fun as possible for us? How do we like how do we just have a good time doing this? If we're honestly having the best time we can possibly have, then you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great time. Everybody's going to have a great time if we're all, you know, happy, you know. So that's
Yeah.
really how it comes. We just
But the ice
hammer it.
shit sometimes just happens, literally. Like,
Yeah.
I
right
mean-
before we went to Europe on this last tour, a fucking major ice storm hit Texas and like shut it down. And like we missed the first flight because the airport was shut down. Like,
Yeah.
all kinds of shit. It's like, well, it's just a sign, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, like a week after our album Crypt of Ice came out, there was a huge ice storm in Texas that like lasted like
Yep.
a week.
Yeah,
Everybody
shut
was
down the
posting.
state.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody was posting, being like, "God damn it,
yeah,
Frozen Soul left the snow machine on."
Yeah.
Like it just happens, and like I can't remember like we were on what tour we were doing, but like we passed through Philly. Was it the Frozen Steel tour?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And like we passed, like we left Philly early to get to New York, and then right afterwards there was this crazy ice storm
Yeah,
that like
snowstorm.
had a huge car pile up, and all these people were posting on the internet,
Like,
just being
Frozen
like,
Soul just came through
Frozen
town.
Soul just came through town. Like it's like it's just really
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, then it started snowing immediately after that set at Vitus.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's
Second
crazy
time
how
around.
it works
That's
out.
bizarre.
All the ice stuff is just like it's just funny, you know. And I think it was actually our old guitar player Ray's idea to get a snow machine.
Yeah, it was.
We played in New York and we were at the hotel and we were just like I was like, "Hey, like we were all talking and I was just like, what should we do to like pick up this stage show?"
See, that's the baby snow machine. We have a bigger one that's
Yeah.
just broken right now that goes. It's fucking like.
Honestly, this one just I kind of
It's
like
pretty
this
good.
one more.
Yeah, it works pretty
but
good.
Ray was just like, "Why don't we get it? What about a snow machine?" And I was like, "Oh my god, Amazon right away." Had it. We had it like we had it delivered to us like
For our hometown show back.
hometown show. And this was like before the Frozen whole tour with Sing with Sugabog. This was like before Chris was in the band,
before I
when he
joined.
was in Steel Bearing Hand. Like we were on tour together and we had it, and then that things just like we're like, all right, we got to go full speed ahead on the ice shit because it's hilarious. And yeah, I mean it's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy how it worked out, man. But it's all just fun, you know. It's all just goofy and
Yeah, the snow machine was right before we got signed to that we got that, and that was kind of fully part of our act by the time.
Yeah,
that
it was
had
part of
come
our
around.
shtick.
I was like, did they get signed and spend the budget on a fucking snow machine?
we actually spent money we didn't have while we were on the road before we got signed. We were just like, we
Yeah.
got to get a fucking snow machine. Those exist. And then like, yeah, they sure did. So we just
Wow.
like, but it's obviously not snow. It's like it's like it's like a dry bubble kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I don't know.
But-
It's annoying sometimes.
Enough.
Yeah, we
Next
need
time
to
we're
get
gonna get a
those
real
that
one.
actually
Okay, that's-
shoots real
Yeah.
fucking
That's
snow
next.
right
Buy
away.
a grand.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That
All right,
thing's-
Century Media.
Yeah.
Next record.
Come on.
Set aside 5 to 6K from the
Yeah.
from the studio budget and put it into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Snow cannon.
Yeah, snow cannon. Yeah,
Like
for sure.
imagine if you were in a fucking arena and you brought these things out.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
It's
That's-
funny.
It'd be super sick.
You know what's
That'd be
really
super
funny
sick.
though about the snow machine
Come on.
is like I cannot tell you how many times we've played a show and I've used that shit and then people come out after our set and go, "Man, did y'all turn the AC down? I swear it got colder in here." And I'm like, "Bro, like, do I look like we turned the AC down? I have 7,000 pounds of sweat out of my body on my shirt right now. Like, we did not turn the AC. I wish we would have turned the AC.
But generally, yeah, please
amazing.
turn the AC down.
Yes.
We're always fucking sweaty.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael, you mentioned that when you heard Blink 182, that's what made you like go like, oh whoa, I want to pick up the guitar.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
So isn't that kind of wild that you heard Blink?
They rule.
Damn it!
Yes.
First of all, that riff is sick.
Oh, it's so sick.
The whole
it's
record is insanely sick.
It's an insane record.
Yeah, one of the catchiest songs.
Their structures are kind of metal, but it's just that the key they write in is in G, so it just sounds like.
Oh, they write.
Chris,
they write A minor.
The punk in Chris is like, I don't like 182, but they're really one of the sickest bands
I
I've
mean,
ever listened to.
when I was in high school, like I think Cheshire Cat and like all that shit had just came out, and Dude Ranch and like
Dude Ranch.
that shit was cool. It was all right, you know.
Chris was already
But
deep
that was
into
that
the
pop
punk
joke.
and
Like,
stuff.
what's every emo band's favorite key to write in? A minor, because they all get busted for fucking underage girls.
Oh man,
Got it. Okay.
Oh God.
the old man in Chris is coming out now.
Yeah.
yeah.
But no, yeah, Blink-182 is fucking awesome.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, they're good.
It's so bizarre that like hearing that band and now where you guys have taken it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to now like if you really
Yeah.
think about the whole scheme of it, how everything's so like connected.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
and now we're talking about like a wave of like death metal.
Dude,
Yeah,
it
it's
goes
crazy.
deeper. It
It's
goes
sick.
deeper than that too, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like I grew up similar to how Mike did. Like seriously, like, and we've talked a lot about this. Like, when I first got into music, the CDs my mom was getting me were like, you know, I didn't come from like a background of like punk and stuff like that. I didn't have those. I came from a background of Slipknot and, you know, Korn and Rob Zombie and stuff like that, and Metallica and like Pantera. You know, like those were the bands I was exposed to as a young kid. And so like a lot of those bands like Korn and stuff like that, like, dude, their songwriting is insane. And it's like Blink-182. There's this thing that they have where their songs are so catchy. All of those bands have that same thing. So once that stuff gets ingrained into you, you're going to take that with you wherever. And Chris has it too with like older metal bands and stuff. Like there's songwriting.
My parents are metalheads, so like my dad's band used to play with Pantera and shit back in the day.
Nice.
So I grew up on Pantera, Slayer, Metallica, a lot of hair metal and shit. But then I had to piss my dad off and get into like, you know, punk and DB and Cross. And just, he's like, dude, let me show you how to play this solo. I'm like, man, solos fucking suck. I just want to, like, I had him show me how to play a power chord. And I was like, that's all I want to learn, Dad. And I learned guitar the wrong way. I didn't learn covers. Like, I never learned other people's songs. I literally got showed how to play a power chord and just started writing my own.
Yeah, that's
shit.
how it was for drums for me.
And
I never learned covers.
Yeah.
I never learned covers.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah, I was like, I want a fucking double bass.
But yeah, no, Chad's right though. On song structure, we think about that a lot. Like even like hair metal band, like Rat and stuff, and like chorus, verse. You know, like how to set stuff up so it's not just like a riff salad. Like there's a lot of death metal bands. It's just like riff, 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 and a lot of the riffs are super sick, but they don't kind of pay off in the way that they should, as well as those riffs are
like if it'll be like this super heavy riff, and then it'll go into like a bunch of blasts, and then a heavy riff, and then blasts, and then a slower part, and then a heavy part. But like there's no like ultimate payoff. And see, bands like Blink-182, bands like Korn and stuff, there's always this payoff in the song. Either it's in like the chorus or it's in this specific part, and it builds that emotion until it just hits. And we try and do that in like every single one of our songs, where it builds and builds and builds until like it's so heavy or so like too it's a part that just like evokes emotion, you know, that like you can't help but get down to it, you know, and that literally comes from all those like super catchy bands.
Yeah,
you know?
Paying attention to transitions and stuff. They're a lot more easily identifiable in pop music and, you know, popular rock music and stuff like that.
Crazy how you can go from like, man, you like grew up on Blink-182 to just like talking about Korn and like all these like legendary bands, but they're the greatest. Like they're the greatest.
I mean, that's how it happened for me too. You know, like I got like really into Blink, and then my neighbor bought me like Green Day's American Idiot for my 10th birthday, the CD, and I was like, oh, this is fucking sick. And then when I got into like middle school, one of my buddies from church, from when I used to go to church, he showed me like Trivium and Lamb of God, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Wow. Yeah, and that was the evolutionary step for me too.
Yeah, and then it was just down the fucking rabbit hole from there.
Yeah, full circle moment for Matt is like he learned how to play guitar to like
Matt,
sorry.
Who? God
I was thinking
damn
Matt Heafy.
You sure that's
for
a
Michael.
Celsius
I was thinking,
name?
no, Matt Heafy. I was thinking it was Michael meeting Matt Heafy because he learned how to play guitar to Trivium and shit like that, you know.
It's crazy how far it's all just
full circle.
It's just connected. It also explains why your band is very obviously it's heavy, but also has that like unexplainable catchy factor. You know, it explains a lot. You know, you're a very smart band. You know, very open, open minded, and you know, I was honored to have your band here and to finally meet you after hearing like, the banding for the past 6 months pretty constantly.
Dude,
so I didn't really have a choice.
People are forcing it upon you.
I mean, but that means you are doing something right. When like someone is just like you just keep seeing either you keep seeing the logo or you keep seeing pictures online. It's just you're doing something right. You know. Yeah. So it's badass.
Trying to have fun. Boy, shit, man. It's awesome to be here. It's awesome. Fucking. You have quite the legacy, man, and it's really cool coming in. This is only the second time we've ever done a podcast where we've actually gone somewhere to do a podcast.
Oh, great!
Yeah, Brian from Zabalba. I don't even know if they still have a podcast, but we went that
was our first tour.
One of our first tours, we went and did one with them,
and we got really super fucking hammered at like 12 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
nice.
And then we had to go play today if we weren't already hammered from yesterday.
Yeah, I need to recoup.
But yeah, it's just fucking awesome, dude. Thank you.
Love the Christmas tree too, man. It's very welcoming.
It reminds me of a Morbid Effigy, the music video.
That was a gift from Corpse Grinder. Thank you.
Shout out Corpse Grinder.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
A real OG.
Respect the Nick.
Dude, OG. Where can people find you?
Everywhere. We're on YouTube, Spotify.
The internet.
We're on the internet basically everywhere.
Yeah, Frozen Soul TX on just about everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sick.
FrozenSoulTX.com.
Awesome. Well, Frozen Soul, you are sick. Again, thank you for being here. Can't wait for the show tonight and see. Are we seeing the Snow Machine?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you will. Oh yeah, it'll be there.
If House of Blues allows it, yes.
Yeah.
Does the venue have to allow that?
Yeah, we have to talk to the LD every day.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of
wow.
50-50.
Yeah, some places get freaked out and they're like, "Oh no!" And then we're like, "Trust us, it's dry." Because
Yeah.
they think it's gonna get the floor all wet and slippery and
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes we gotta bust it out and test it out because
Yeah,
like
just show them.
it's a little like it's a little overwhelming when you first see it because you're like, holy fuck, this just got all over the monitors and shit. But like it dissipates super fast
it's-
and like
it's
it
dry.
doesn't leave a residue. It's the craziest thing. It
Interesting.
doesn't get anything
Yeah.
sticky. It's not even like a snow machine fluid or fog machine fluid. You know how it can like leave residues on your hands
Yeah,
and stuff? It's
yeah.
not even like that. it's like dry. It's
It does on cymbals though, and on drums it definitely does.
Of course.
Who cares about that?
You don't
got
clean
his
them anyway,
ass.
Matt.
Yeah,
so
come on,
who cares?
man.
It doesn't come off.
Fucking got him.
Oh my goodness. All right, everyone, that's it. Later.